Hello there. I have a codicle here. I had a viewer request that I try Nagura on a codicle. Now, I've never thought of it. Uh, One of the main reasons I've never done it is to use these, in my understanding, uh, at least these two. You want a base stone that is harder than the two of these so that you're pulling slurry off the Nagura and not the base stone. With the tomo, you want a tomo that's as hard or harder than your base stone so that you're actually getting base stone slurry. That's my opinion. I know there are probably, or my understanding rather, but there are probably exceptions to that where you might want to get base stone from Nagura or the tomo slurry instead of the base stone. But by and large, my understanding of it is that. So I don't know the hardness of codicils. I know some of them can. I know they vary, just like every other natural stone. But my opinion of this codicle is that it's fairly hard. Uh, so I've never really tried it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to do that today and see if we can see what our results are. And we'll put these over here. This is Tenju. We're going to start with that. And I have here a gold monkey. Now that this is basically a gold dollar by any other name. And what I did was let me wet my codicle. What I did was take that razor, that gold monkey, back to an 8K. And that's slurry off the Nagura. But there is a bit of codicle mixed into that because this codicle, the codicle stone that I have, uh, most codicle to me kind of looks, the mud looks a bit on the bluish, grayish side. And these Nagura have a different color of creaminess to them. And there's a bit of a blend of both. And what I'm doing is I'm not using pressure, but I am using a bit of torque on this. It's a bit different feeling uh, than the codicle slur, and I think the sound is a bit different too. But don't quote me. Beautiful. It sounds lovely. I like that. Excuse me for being a nerd. And I use tape on this because when I went back to the 8K stone without tape, there was a little micro bevel when I got done that told me that this was previously honed with tape. So I had to put some tape on it and go back to the 8K again. The Coticule seems slower. What I mean by that is this. I'm really used to the way this Coticule feels when you hone on it. Uh, there's usually a bit of grittiness that's present in the stone no matter what you do. It doesn't affect the ability to hone. It just is. The Nagura slurry has changed that so that I'm getting I don't know when that happened, but I just realized my camera was bumped and moved. But anyway, I'm getting a difference not only in the sound of this Coticule from the Nagura slurry, but there's a difference in feel. This Coticule, like I say, usually has a bit of a grittiness to the feel of it, no matter what you do on it. And like I say, it doesn't affect the finish. It's just there. That's smoothed out of it. There's still a bit of it there, but not as much. And there's more resistance as I move across the hone than I normally get. It almost, to me, acts like a synthetic stone when you slurry it, because that's a different kind of feel. If you slurry a 1K or a 4K or even an 8K with a diamond plate, there's a feel to that slurry that's different than the feel to a natural slurry, like what would come off a Coticule or a JNat or off of these Nagura. And that it's more akin to that. And what I'm doing now is just working this slurry with a bit of torque till it begins to change in color, which it's starting to do right now. Until I feel like I've worked the edge enough Alright, what I'm going to do now, and this is how I do. A lot of guys would completely clean off that old slurry and stuff. This works just fine for me. I'm going to do a lighter tinge slurry. Like that. And start over. Actually, I want to wipe that blade off first. And I'm not sure about my approach to this. I'm just kind of going off the cuff for what I'm doing. Now, since I've got since I spent all that time on the first tincture slurry, now I'm diluting this lighter slurry, and I think what I'm going to do is raise light slurries with the following tomo or the following Naguras until I reach the tomo and finish like I would on a JNAT. Just continue this dilution as part of the progression and not spend a lot of time with each Nagura before beginning the dilution process. So we're going to go to Majiro now. Just a light slurry. Actually, there, that's better. Lovely. What I'm trying to do, in my mind at least, is stay with the Delicate method on this Coticule, but incorporate the Nagura. And I'm using a bit of torque, a very light bit of torque. Gonna go to Tomo. Very lightly. Very light, misty Tomo slurry. Too much. There we go. Actually, that's better. Lovely. Alright, what I'm going to do now is actually rinse this stone completely clean of all the slurry. And we're going to go plain water for several laps. And this thing just doesn't know how to stay still. Don't know what's going on with that, but anyway. Very light. Weight of the razor passes only. And now what I'm going to do is cheat just a little bit. And by that, what I mean is I'm going to use a bit of honing solution that has a bit of uh, mineral oil in it, a bit of dish soap in it, a bit of water in it. Alright, now what I'll do is drop that up. Sun pad test. Feels lovely. I've got hairs flying away from it. Lovely. So we'll strap that up and see what that does. Test shave it. God bless you. Thanks for coming along. I'll talk to you later.